Hello, Prime Minister. Please, take a seat. Before we start, I need to ask, can you handle the heat? Because I have some questions, just some harmless suggestions, about what you plan to do with the mess on our streets. So strap yourself in, this shouldn't take long. How do you take your tea? Stable and strong. So me and you, we had pretty different starts. Probably because we grew up in pretty different parts. You see, it seems to me that yours might be different to mine, less Knockadora and more wheat fields and wine. Oh wait, hold on, no judgment here. I know that things aren't always as they appear. I know that there's more to folk than what meets the eye. I know that life isn't always cut and dry. But it feels like, while some of us make enough just to scrape by, the person in charge should stop turning a blind eye. Stop continuing to deny. Stop trying to get by with lie after lie and start to accept that it's just getting worse. Tell your Chancellor to sort out the strings on his purse, because day after day when I walk to work, it's starting to feel like fucking clockwork. And I can't shirk the guilt like you folk can. I can't smirk and pretend it's not just another man who's fallen from the grid. Yeah, that's what you'll find when you lift up the lid. Another human being who probably has a kid. And day after day it's, can you spare us a quid? Of course I can. But God forbid should our government help lower the rent, help get these people out of their tent. I'm starting to resent the way we misrepresent this England. Your country, you command. I've lived all over this land. In York and London and Manchester and Liverpool, and life in these cities is cruel. Take my pal Chris, who dropped out of school, moved straight into our vestibule. His life was a spiral spinning down, wandering around town trying not to drown. Not exactly paradise, been enticed into spice, but what good is my advice when all you're worried about is your next meal? You'll do out. You'll beg, borrow and steal. Feels like a pretty raw deal to be caught up in this system. I wonder if his mum missed him, because he was only 17. Hidden under your smokescreen, unseen and unknown, but not alone. Chris isn't the only kid thrown into this underworld that you condone. I met a man this year while I was working as a volunteer. He was a banker who had a career and his name was Faisal, and his story shattered my heart. He and his wife had drifted apart, so he moved to London with his baby for a fresh start, but the spiral caught him too. He couldn't get an interview. And before you misconstrue, he tried to push through, he tried to pursue, but like they all say, we are all only 2 paychecks away. So when I met Faisal, he was trying to sign on and his baby was gone, taken away to someone she could depend upon. He had tried to stay in a hostel, but they were far too hostile. I think the guy setting fire to his feet scared him off, yeah. Faisal had had enough. Just hearing his story was tough, and he had an awful cough, so he went to Nero for a brew, joined the queue. And then I learnt the true worldview. We were stared at like animals in a zoo. So he asked if we could sit outside. We found a bench, sat down, he cried, and I left him there. In his own despair. I couldn't bear it though, so I took his details, thought maybe we could email. And as I look back, he looked so frail. This isn't just another tale, this is real. Faisal was last online July the 5th, and I don't know where he is. If he is. So I've decided that these words, they are his.